A lead workflow is essentially a series of tasks that you set up to guide you through your sales process. This to-do list will help you make sure nothing slips through the cracks as you take a brand new lead on the road to becoming an active booked job. To create a lead workflow, go to the Workflow and Automation section of the Settings tab. Click the plus icon to create a new workflow. First, give your workflow a name. I'll create one for my portrait sessions. You can also have this workflow automatically applied to a new lead based on the lead's job type. For example, if you have your contact form synced to ShootQ and leads are automatically imported, they would be assigned to a particular workflow. The assigned workflow would be dependent upon the lead's job type. I'll auto-assign this workflow to my family portraits, headshots, and senior sessions. A lead will go through various stages in the process of becoming a booked job. When first entered into ShootQ, the lead is new. Then it becomes qualified when you determine they are a good fit for you. Next, they enter the proposal contract sent stage when you send them a proposal or contract to sign. After the client signs it, the lead moves into the contract signed stage. And finally, when the studio countersigns the contract, the lead becomes an active booked job. The tasks in the workflow directly relate to these various stages. To add a task to a particular stage, just click the plus button next to it in the timeline, then configure it on the right. Add the task into this field. If you want to further describe what the task entails, feel free to enter a description into this box. If necessary, you can always add subtasks to the task by entering them into this field and clicking the Enter or Return button on your computer. Subtasks are basically items that are related to the main task. You can always edit and delete the subtasks as well. You can also assign the task to particular personnel in your studio if you want. And tasks will also have due dates. This is ideally when the task should be completed. I'll set this task to be due 1 day after the lead enters this new lead status. On the far right side, you can delete the task, or you can also hide it by clicking the X button. You would continue to build your workflow in the same manner, adding tasks to the appropriate stages in the lead's life cycle. Here's my completed workflow. When you save your workflow, it then becomes part of your active workflow list and can be assigned to leads. You can always duplicate, archive, or edit a workflow. It's important to note that if you edit a workflow that is already assigned to an existing lead, your changes will not apply to that lead. They would only apply to future leads. Now that we have a workflow created, we can apply it when entering a lead. I'll enter a lead manually, but if you have a contact form synced to ShootQ, the leads from that contact form will also have a workflow applied as long as you have auto-assigned the workflow based on the job type. Notice when I select a portrait session as the job type, it automatically assigns my portrait workflow. I can always change it if necessary. When the lead is created, the workflow appears in the job timeline. You can click on a task and change anything about it, like its due date, assigned personnel, or the nature of the task. You can mouse over this icon to see its due date. To mark the task completed, either check this box or click this button. Either will mark it completed. Completed tasks are automatically hidden, but you can show them if you want. Notice how the tasks in the lead status don't become activated until the lead reaches that status. I'll make this a qualified lead, and the task will then become available to me. I can then begin marking off the tasks in that status. This process of completing tasks continues up until the lead becomes an active booked job. At that point, you'll apply a booked workflow to the job. The lead workflow, though, is designed to carry you through your sales process. The tasks in the workflow will help you stay organized with your leads, from the time they are brand new up until the time they are booked.